What's up, everybody? Thanks so much for tuning in to this week's episode of the Agent Evolution Show. So thanks so much for all you that have tuned in every week. We're on episode number 50, a little bit of a milestone, pretty cool deal. So I thought with this episode, I bring some tremendous value with a very important topic, and it's this: habits. So what are your habits? Are your habits getting you desired results and closer to the life of your dreams? Or do you keep creating like the same thing over and over again and being frustrated? So let's talk a little bit about what are habits, how do they work, and how can you create new ones or alter ones that you currently have. So the most important thing that you'd want to know is, what is a habit loop? And there's really a 3-step process to this. Step 1 of the habit loop is a cue. So this is something in your external environment that triggers you to run your habit loop. So something happens and boom, now you're going to run a routine, which is step 2. What is the behavior in which you take once you're triggered to run your habit loop? Routine's really important. And then step 3 is, what's the reward? Like, what's the payoff for running this habit loop? And the really fascinating part that I've come to understand is most of our habits, since they're just habitual, were actually unconsciously created just because we did the same thing over and over and over again, and the mind takes all that information and cuts out what's not important, chunks it down into a habit so that it doesn't, fatigue out your mind. So the mind's always looking for shortcuts and ways to just get things done without having to consciously process things. So hopefully by the end of this video, you will be empowered to take a look at, throughout your day, what are your habit loops? Because you've got lots of them. Some of them really good, that produce results that you like, and some of them not so much. So we're talking about the ones that are not so much, that you'd like to alter or create new ones that make the old ones obsolete, so you quiet those down. Now, the rub is you can never really get rid of a habit. You can alter it, you can change it, or you can create a brand new one that overpowers the old one. So you feed the new one, starve the old, here you go, bigger, better results. So if you want to change a habit, what you really want to clearly define is, what are the cues? What's the trigger that starts my habit loop? And let me clearly define, what is the reward that I get for running this habit loop? Because if the reward is like not so great, although it's comfortable and secure and safe, is that really the reward you're seeking? Or is the reward you're seeking like living the life of your dreams? Okay, so let's talk a little about the reward. Here's why habits are so addictive and run without us. When you start running a cue, routine, and reward, pretty soon it starts to be internalized in the body. And what happens is, when the body starts to crave that neurological cocktail of endorphins and hormones, your mind will start looking for cues to run the habit loop so it can get the reward. It's a pretty ingenious type system we have here with our minds, yet left unattended can be very destructive. So, where can you adopt this information in your life and in your business? Could you set up a morning ritual that there's a cue as soon as you wake up? I'll give you an example. For me, as soon as I wake up, I take care of my needs and I go straight for my cup of coffee. That's a cue for me to grab my gratitude journal and to sit down and pencil that out. As soon as I'm done with my gratitude, that's my cue. Get your butt in the garage and do my morning exercise. Celebrate my body. That's clearly a cue. When my body temperature rises, that's my cue to get in the ice tub. Because there's a reward after each one of these pieces. So how about your business? What about creating some success habit loops that are really going to help you create desired results? So for example, could you commit to get to your office or wherever you frequently work by a certain time? And by the time you get to the office and you look at the clock, being on time, that's your cue to run your routine. So what's in your routine? Really important things to dissect and be intentional about. So if you ran this routine, you clearly define a cue, which runs your routine that you consciously created, and you clearly define what's the reward that I'm going to get from running through this routine. Pretty soon, your body will start to internalize that. You'll crave the reward. So instead of just meandering throughout your day, hoping good things happen and just showing up and being present and thinking that's enough? Can you consciously create some success habits? I mean, think of the most successful people you know. Just take five of the top successful people that you think are successful, and look at what makes them successful. Chances are it's not because they're good looking or because they're smarter or anything other than that. It's because they have distinct success habits, and they can be easily created through repetition. So I hope this brings some tremendous value to you, and as I end every Agent Evolution video with, who you surround yourself with matters. Are you surrounding yourself with people that have success habit loops and they consistently produce desired results, or not so much? Because we do become a product of our environment. Yet the great news is you get to create your environment. So choose wisely. This information can be better sought out and clearly understand in a book called The Power of Habit. Just read through it. Amazing book. So remember, cue, routine, reward. Take a look at throughout your day, what are the cues that are triggering you to run your routine, and what's the payoff? What's the reward you're getting? And is that cycle producing desired results for you? Because if not, change the routine. Or create new cues, clearly defined rewards, and consciously create a routine that's going to deliver desired results. So, thank you so much for watching. Make it a great day.